It is of note that huge funds have been donated to the government, and much of these funds have been bereft of any accountability and transparency known to Nigerian public. We'd like to ask you, what's your perspective on the funds that Nigeria has received in terms of COVID-19 relief, especially from international donors and so?
Yeah, like I had said in my write-up, if you have seen one or two things that I've given as an instances, yeah, it is crystal clear the way the government are doing things now because they are not being sincere enough with how things are going. Yeah, you can see, let me start from before we got the 50 million euro from the European Union Council, yeah. So before that time, we were having a kind of less than 20 cases on a daily basis. So the cases are not that much. So I could remember, was it not 2 days or 3 days before we got the donation from the European Union, IMF gave some kind of, in quotes, poor countries a kind of relief stimulus in order to fight this coronavirus. So by the time Nigeria got the 50 billion, that's about 21 billion naira from the European Union. You know, that same day we recorded at around 9:20 p.m., we recorded about 19 cases. And now after, that was around 11 p.m. That same day, we recorded another additional 11 cases. So who is deceiving who? Where did we get these 11 cases from Lagos again that you've already gave us some kind of figure from Lagos earlier that same day? So that gave us a total of 30 cases that day. And the next day, that Nigeria received the fund, then we started recording about 34 cases of this coronavirus pandemic. Let me just go straight forward. Like, Nigerian government, they've not been sincere with us. You know, even from the index case, where the Italian man came to this country via Istanbul, so many people believe coronavirus is fake in Nigeria, which obviously is not. Coronavirus is real. But the way the government is handling it, I don't think they're encouraging the citizen. Like, aside from that one, the government got what is it called, donation from corporate organizations and notable Nigerians. If I could remember, I think UBA donated about 5 billion. We have about Access Bank, Keystone Bank, Abdurrahman Samad, and this Aliko Dangote, and the rest of them. They all donated 1 billion naira each to fight this cause. And even till now, Nigerians still don't know where all these funds are. So a lot of Nigerians are lamenting, and even during lockdown, the government were talking about palliative. And you are given some section, let me say some section, or even few section of this country, to be precise, the palliative. So, and even, we could not even see or even hear from even single somebody, or even one person to have just come out and said, I've received my own 20,000 naira from federal government of Nigeria. You know, it is so sad because we are now in dog eat dog society.
That that's
whereby some people
let's
want to take advantage of. When some people want to take advantage of the masses, you know, that is the kind of society that we are now. So it's so unfortunate that we are in this kind of a society.
okay. Let me now get your view on this. I mean, it's quite unfortunate that the government has actually not been prudent with regards to expenditure, as we and with regards to transparency and accountability. And does it not call for a better transparency framework built into the entire process, especially with regards to the conditional cash transfer that that was expended? These were some of the issues you raised in the article.
Yeah, thanks for that question. I really love that question because a lot of Nigerians will love this question. Yeah, you know, the government has not been sincere enough in terms of this conditional cash transfer. They've not been sincere organization. It's uncalled for. We have Central Bank of Nigeria. Millions of Nigerians have BVN. You can easily approach Central Bank of Nigeria and distribute this palliative. You can, whatever you want to do, you can do it via CBN. Generate Nigerians' bank verification number. Either you're a billionaire, millionaire, thousandaire, or hundredaire, like in quotes, distribute this money at all levels. By this, nobody will complain. You said you want to lock this country down. You just did lockdown just like that, which is uncalled for. There is no palliative, there is nothing. As a journalist, I know how much I spend in a week during the global lockdown for family and friends. Because a lot of people are broke, they don't have money. So you can't just say you want to lock the country down and you didn't provide any better palliative for them. All we could hear is just a broadcast, it's just a TV broadcast. And if you see a lot of Nigerians' reactions during that time, it's so uncalled for. A lot of Nigerians asked Mr. President to just do a live chat with journalists. They felt if he was able to do a live chat with journalists, journalists will be able to ask him questions and he will be able to give them feedback how the countries are going. It's not about live broadcast. Like let me quickly chip in. Like the president's spokesperson says on a live radio broadcast, whereby he said somebody was talking like a broken record. That's arrogant. Why would you have said that? It's just arrogant. Because a government should be responsive. That is the act of irresponsibility of a government to be hiding their incompetency. So,
now, Jimoh, let me also questions have also been raised. I'll need to get your view on this too, with regards to the funds that was said to have been distributed. I mean, lots of Nigerians don't even know how much have actually been tracked or been distributed. And you know, the funds, just like we said, were said to have been distributed to beneficiaries. But Nigerians don't even know how beneficiaries are being compiled, who really are the beneficiaries. And so as a journalist, I want to ask you, at the level of the presidential task force and at the level of states, what had been queried with regards to who are actually beneficiaries of these so-called relief funds, the so-called poorest of the poor, and what has been your recommendations?
Yeah, that was my question as well. You know, a lot of Nigerians, most especially those who are in the southwest region of the country, they were lamenting and lambasting the presidency. It's so sad. My question is, what is President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration definition of poor Nigerians or vulnerable Nigerians? In a country whereby out of over 206 million people, over 82.9 million people lives in poverty. It's so sad. Over 82.9 million people lives in poverty in this country. NBC reports shows that. So it's so sad because we don't really know those who have benefited from this conditional cash transfer. And the government cannot themselves tell us or point out these are the people who have benefited from this CCT. Let me set the record straight. I did not include this in my opinion, but a lot of Nigerians called me. Even some people called me from the northern part of the country. They said this 20,000 naira that were given, they said they will only use them to snap pictures, and after which they will receive the money back from them and give them 2,000 naira. A lot of people call me concerning this. You know, it is just crazy because of this kind of environment that we find ourselves. And we just felt, and we think things will have been better by now. When we came in 2015, we came in for change, and we couldn't even see the change. Now, 2019, when we came in for next level. So do we say we are in next level of poverty? Because, let me be sincere with you. I saw Minister of Humanitarian message where they were talking trash about those who recharge about 300 naira below via their phones, or those who have 5,000 naira in their accounts or below. Those that will be the ones that will benefit from this palliative. So I now ask myself, where would you have done, or where would you have just think this way, that those who have 5,000 below in their account will be those that will benefit from this palliative? Then I started calling my people, those who are in the village, and even those who are in Lagos here. Let me be sincere with you. Even before global lockdown, there are thousands of millions of people in this country. Over 100 million of people who could not even boost up 5,000 naira in their accounts. So are you telling me you won't give them anything? This is so sad. It's so embarrassing. You know, a friend called me from United Kingdom during that time. He said, "Are you serious? Could that be true? Please, Abiodun, confirm and get back to me." Can presidency send those who have below 5,000 in their accounts and those who doesn't recharge up to 300 naira? Then I laugh in Spanish because I told him we're in a dog-eat-dog society. There are a lot of people before they came into politics. They are religious leaders. But now, because they are into politics, they could not say the truth. It is so sad. And all in this country, it's all about religion, and tribe.
So let's get this finally, because we have to round up at this point in time. Consider the fact that the accountability structure in relation to the COVID relief funds, as questions have been called to the credibility and integrity of the entire process with this opaque system. What are your recommendations with regards to the need for the Nigerian government, the federal government, the state government, and other agencies of government to ensure that there are independent checks and they are more transparent with regards to how these funds have been expended?
Yeah. There are a lot of things to do, you know. The kind of politics we play in Nigeria. There's a real corruption. Real corruption has eaten our politics. Now, my recommendation for the federal government of Nigeria concerning this country will still have to go on a total lockdown. I mean a total lockdown whereby nobody, except maybe journalists and security agencies, nobody should go out of the environment. But even markets should only be opening.
Jumia, have you seen the failure of the government to actually provide palliative even during the lockdown? Will it not have an adverse effect on Nigerians if we have another lockdown at this time again?
Yeah, it will, you know, because of the poverty level, it will have a serious adverse effect on Nigerians. Now, let me land on what I was saying before. You know, if we have a responsible government, if you provide a good palliative to Nigerians, nobody will complain. Let me be sincere with you. Nobody will complain. You distribute wealth at all levels. Nobody will complain. Now, because of this, so many people don't believe coronavirus is real. You can see what happened in Gombe State. It is so sad. When patients were confined and you could not even give them a single drug, they hit on healthy foods. This was what caused the protests. They all went out that fateful day to protest along the expressway that links Gombe, Adamawa, and Borno State. It is so sad. Look at how many people they will have met. Look at how many people they will have mingled with. Now, the government has to go back to the drawing board. All hands has to be on deck. They have to provide good palliative, approach CBN, generate Nigerians bank verifications number, know how many people have BVN, distribute funds across board. This is how to distribute wealth, not telling us if you have 5,000 naira below in your account, you are not entitled to.